kid that young, they're going to make like less than 10%.
If that.
But that's what they want to do. They want to jack up threes like Steph Curry. Steph Curry is a once in a lifetime generational talent. He's arguably the best shooter who ever lived. And everybody wants to do what he does like it's easy. It's not easy.
Okay.
You know, Larry Bird could shoot the lights out. Trent Tucker could shoot the lights out. Guys like that, they are rare. But because a lot of players now have grown up with the three-point shot and have played in systems that maybe not emphasize it, but recognize it as a dangerous form of offense. And now we're in a position where the Houston Rockets, I mean, the three-pointer is their offense. That's how they play.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like once you get used to something, it becomes less important. Well, it still is important because you get an extra point, but it's easier to do, and it's not that special.
Well, it's easier to do because people have grown up with the shot.
Yeah,
and like I said, there's been a couple of generations worth of talent,
right?
And especially now with Steph Curry making it look so easy, everybody wants to shoot the three. Nobody wanted to shoot the three back in the day. Everybody wanted to be around the basket. They all wanted to dunk. They all wanted to overpower people. Now it's just what Curry has shown, even though Curry is not a small guy, he's small by NBA standards, but he's shown that a guy who is small can still be the most dangerous guy on the court.
Sure.
But you need to be able to shoot, and that's the change in the game. And nobody's going to do that shooting 12 to 15 footers. You know, because the whole point with basketball has always been get closer to the basket, because every foot closer you get, the higher your percentage is to make a shot. Well, now nobody seems to care about that, because if you're behind the three-point line, you're getting an extra point.
Yeah.
So getting closer to the basket doesn't have the same sort of importance or urgency that it used to have. It's like, oh, okay, I'll just chuck a three.
Well, I agree.
So that's kind of where we are.
We're going to take a break right now. You're listening to From the Press Box right here on 90.3 WHPC, the voice of Nassau Community College. If you have a comment or question, give us a call, 516-572-7440.
WHPC invites you to the 16th Annual Community Summit Expo and Health Fair.
It's happening Wednesday, April 11th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at Farmingdale High School.
Presented by the Farmingdale Community Summit Council.
The Expo and Health Fair showcases many organizations, merchants, and health and wellness services that make Farmingdale a community of opportunity.
This is a free family community event supported by Farmingdale Chamber of Commerce.
Find WHPC at the Expo and win great prizes.
For more information, visit farmingdalesummit.org.
All hit music.
For all those songs radio has forgotten about, join me, Big Ed, Mondays from 10 a.m. till noon for The Good Gold Show. We'll bring back all the great hits of the 50s, 60s, 70s, and more. The sounds of doo-wop to disco, all the Motown, soul, and great rock and roll. We'll even take your requests and dedications to The Good Gold Show.
Music.
On the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC, and streaming on the iHeartRadio app.
Okay.
Yo.
Tell your friends about the Nassau Morning Madhouse. Hear what you're missing.
Check it out.
Check it out.
I'll be doing karaoke this Saturday. I sang the theme song to Family Matters.
Can you sing it?
Yes,
sing it,
please.
It's a rare condition of this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper page. Love and tradition of the grand design, some people say, is even harder to find. Well, then there must be some magic clue inside these walls. 'Cause all I see is a tower of dreams.
He knows all the words.
Love bursting up in every seam. As days go by, it's the bigger love of the family.
Oh my God, I love that!
Nassau Morning Madhouse. Weekday mornings from 7 to 9.
Yeah.
On the voice of Nassau Community College.
90.3 WHPC.
I don't know if you heard, brother, but
I heard.
Stephen Bochco passed away this morning. Or maybe it was last night.
Last night. Sad news.
Sad news. Two of the best shows ever. Hill Street Blues, NYPD Blue. Currently airing on the H&I channels, by the way. And
Bochco did a lot of blue shows. He didn't do Rookie Blue, though, did he?
no, he did Bay City Blues, though.
I don't know what that was.
That was a show about a minor league baseball team. A lot of the same people that were on the other shows.
I don't remember that.
He had like players, and then he also did cop rock.
Well,
Cop rock
truly was one of the worst shows ever.
Actually, no, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
I have to say, I actually saw a couple episodes one time. I got one channel a couple of years ago. We aired it. If you take away the singing,
That's what made it awful.
it was actually a very good cop show. So,
But they were all singing. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. Cop shows should not be a musical.
yeah, that I agree with. But I have to say, it was something different. You know, he'd done how many cop shows? He said, let's try something different. And of course, he did L.A. Law too. So, or co-did with a
One of the best shows ever.
yeah. So he, helped change television. Just cursing, which you don't hear anymore. They take out all the cursing on NYPD Blue. You don't see Sipowicz's butt. Not that I want to. Sharon Lawrence.
Whatever happened to Sipowicz? He just kind of vanished there.
Sipowicz
Did a couple movies after
he did
after Blue.
all 11 seasons of Blue. Really hasn't done much. I think he realized
he was in one of the Die Hard movies. I saw
that was
I saw it
before.
the other,
That was
the
before.
other
Die Hard 2 is in.
Yeah, I saw that the other night.
And
I always stop on Die Hard if I find it on TV.
well, only the first two for me. Sometimes the third one, depending on my mood. Because after that, it just gets silly.
I saw two. Yes,
Yeah, two was the other day where
Sam Jackson was on.
well, that's three. Sam Jackson was three.
Well, it was two.
No, Sam Jackson was three. He was.
I have to research that.
First one was in Nakatomi. Second one was at the Dulles, the airport. I guess it was Dulles. Well, the airport in D.C.
Yeah, that was all the same one.
And then the third one, Sam Jackson's up in Harlem, and he runs that store, and then he sees McClane up there with the sign.
Yeah, he's up in Harlem. And,
Yeah, so
with a and why is it McClane always has a hangover?
Because he's an alcoholic, maybe. That's
It's like a super cop who happens to also be an alcoholic. It's kind of not really a winning formula there.
Well, there's a lot of cops enjoy their antidepressant. Let's put it that way. Anyway, let's continue on with sports. Quickly, the Women's Championship, which happened last night, which is a great way to do it. I think they should do it in the same town, but that's something else.
No, you can't.
Well, why not?
Because the women's game would get overshadowed by the men's game. It just would. I mean, I hate.
Don't you think more people would cover it if they were in the same town?
Not necessarily, because those people are still writing about the men's game. So now you'd still have to send somebody else to the event. It's not like you can just say, "Oh, hey, sports writer guy, as long as you're there, write 2 or 3 more stories."
That's happened to
on
you,
top
though.
of the 3 or 4 that you're already writing about the men's game. Yeah, I know it has. That's why I'm saying it's not a good idea.
Anyway, UConn did not make the finals for the first time
It's the first time since last year.
Well, since last year, but you expect them. They're like the team you expect to be.
They were undefeated going into the Final Four. They had won all of their games by convincing margins, and even though that Notre Dame is at this point their only true rival in women's college basketball, I think most people expected it would be a formality that UConn would win a title and avenge last season.
Right.
They had the shocking loss to Mississippi State last year that ended their 111-game winning streak. This year it was Notre Dame. I don't even know how to pronounce this woman's name. Arike Ogunbowale, I think it is.
That sounds right. Ogunbowale.
I'm pretty sure I butchered it. But she hit buzzer beater. She hit a 3-pointer with 1 second left against UConn for the margin of victory in that game. And then last night, unbelievable, just flung a 3-pointer from the right side that dropped through the net as time expired. And pandemonium was I mean, Notre Dame seemed stunned. I mean, I think they were genuinely stunned that the shot went in, because it was such a crazy shot. And it just swished right through, and it was just, boom. Oh, my God, we just won the national championship. And this was exactly what Mississippi State had done the year before when they beat UConn.
Right.
It was such a stunning victory. And I don't know, maybe people thought Mississippi State would win it again. I have no idea. But a pretty remarkable game. It was, and Ogunbowale was 6 for 21 shooting. And that was one of 2 3-pointers that Notre Dame made in the game. So
good for
good for them. Congratulations to the Fighting Irish.
Yeah. What do we do with Odell Beckham Jr., brother?
Let's talk baseball.
Let's
get to baseball.
Let's quickly. I'd rather talk. What's there to talk about
baseball
baseball
season.
Well, we know the game's canceled today. We're waiting for the Mets to cancel, but I don't think they're going to.
It's baseball season. Let's celebrate baseball season.
You really want to? The Yankees are.
Why not? I don't understand. We're a sports show. Why would
I know,
you want
but
to talk about baseball?
The Yankees.
I'm a little confused.
I don't know. Are they looking good yet?
Yes.
They are. Okay.
Yes. Did you watch the opener?
No, I watched the Mets.
It was very encouraging. Giancarlo Stanton.
Oh, I saw that homer. That was like.
Crushed it. Which homer? Which homer did you see?
The first one, the first at bat.
Yes.
Where he, set some record or something.
Giancarlo Stanton.
Aaron Judge.
He hit an opposite field home run.
Was
his
really
first at bat.
Strong at bat.
117 point something on the StatCast, which was the hardest hit ball to the opposite field since in the StatCast era. He crushed it. It was Michael Kay. I think he thought it was a double coming off the bat, and the ball just soared.
Yeah, it was a great hit
into the seats. It was crazy how hard he hit that ball. So that was Giancarlo Stanton said, "Welcome, I'm here."
Well, he made sure that he reminded people. That's what you do first at bat when you're new in town. Make sure you get a nice clock or homer like that.
Exactly.
By the way, did you see the Aaron Judge? This is SportsCenter.
Yes, I did.
That's funny. I haven't seen I didn't know they were still doing them. And
they're, I think, few and far between nowadays. But
it was real funny.
Yeah, for those of you who haven't seen it, don't know what we're talking about. You will be seeing on ESPN the commercial that has Aaron Judge going into the gym facility at ESPN in Bristol and getting on a treadmill. And he's on a treadmill for just a few seconds.
Right.
And he's in full uniform, the pinstripes looking quite resplendent, I must say.
Of course.
Next to, who was it? It was Scott Van Pelt, I think, was on his right.
Yeah, Van Pelt.
And he's on a treadmill for a few seconds. He gets off. He doesn't really exert himself while the other two on either side of him are running pretty hard. And he gets off and he walks away and says, "I'm out of here." And then the camera goes back to the treadmill, and the digital readout, it'll say like what speed you had or whatever, and how much of a distance that you traveled. And for his pace, it says home run trot.
Now, that's not the one I saw.
That's what I saw.
The one I saw is, I think it's Van Pelt saying, well, he's been hanging out here, and every time he walks in the room, he expects things. And so he walks in the room, and everyone stands.
Oh, because the bailiff says all rise. That's
right.
A different one. Yeah,
that's a different. That's what I did see.
Oh, all right. No, there's another one that's coming out. I don't think it's been on yet, but I saw it, actually. I got a little sneak preview. But that's the one, on the treadmill, and it says home run trot as his pace. So that one I thought was hysterical. But yeah, the other one they were saying that he's taking it a little too seriously, and he walks into an ESPN meeting.
Yeah.
And there's like a bailiff at the door, and he says, "All rise."
Yes, I thought that was hilarious.
You know what does a great all rise, by the way? I'm going to give him credit on the air. Bill Ritter.
Bill Ritter.
Channel 7 News,
right.
Eyewitness News.
Right.
Whenever
your Twitter friend.
Well, yeah, my Twitter friend. Whenever that goofball Ryan Field is doing sports, and Aaron Judge is mentioned, Bill Ritter goes into an all rise. He does an outstanding job with that.
Well, I'm sure he does.
So credit to him. Credit to Bill Ritter.
Anyway, well, what's wrong with the Yankees? There's
nothing wrong with the Yankees.
You sure? Yankee fans love to destroy their team. Oh, we need a backup all-star second baseman. Stuff like that.
Come on, stop.
You don't think the bullpen is
ridiculous? No, the bullpen was the last two games for sure was shaky, and they've given up a few home runs.
What about the
already.
outfield? All of a sudden, they have no outfield.
The bullpen. Let me talk two sentences about something before we change the topic here. All right. The bullpen has been a problem so far. 11 runs in 4 games for the bullpen. That's a lot of runs in 4 games. You don't want your bullpen giving up that many runs, even if we're in a